Patrick Mouratoglou reviews a brand new ball machine. Is his advice worth listening to? That's what we're going to uncover in today's video. If you're new to the channel, do me a huge favor before we get into it. Please like and subscribe. Mouratoglou recently put out an Instagram post reviewing a new ball machine. He also gives out some advice of whether or not the ball machine is any good. I'm going to react to this post in real time and give you my opinion. So my first impressions are, it looks like some type of drop feed machine. I'm guessing that the ball's going to just fall straight down to the player.
I think it's very interesting to work on power, because as you see, the ball that the player receives is completely dead. There is no energy in the ball. So you have, as a player, to create fully the energy. It's like if someone would feed you balls like that. So this machine.
So my first impression now is the ball just drops straight down. Player then is able to hit the ball and generate power. To be fair, what Mouratoglou says here is correct. The ball's got no pace on it, so the player has to generate all the pace themselves. He also points out that it's a bit like a drop feed, where the coach stands in front of the player and drops the ball in front of them. Straight away, my first initial thought is great. As a player development point of view, it's completely unrealistic. Like, yes, you will be able to generate lots of power with that ball machine, but the downside to when you play tennis is the ball travels towards you. Therefore, the ball has speed and spin. Therefore, the ball has weight. So you're going to have to match the speed of the ball, otherwise it's going to break your contact. If it breaks your contact, the ball's going to spin out. You also have to read and react to the ball. So you're going to have to use your perception action coupling. You're going to have to see, one, where the ball's going. Then you're going to have to move into position, get yourself set, and then play the shot. All within, what, 1.5 seconds, if that. It's a different skill. Like, dropping the ball in front of a player, in my opinion, is absolutely pointless. It's great for one thing, may develop in a little bit of confidence. But the issue is when you then put that player back out into an open tennis situation, that confidence is going to disappear because the player now has to perform a completely different skill. I don't think it's great for generating power. It's great for generating power if you're standing still. But unfortunately, in tennis, you have something called an opponent. The opponent down the far end, they're doing their best job to make sure you don't hit with power. They're trying their best to make sure you hit off balance, you're uncomfortable. This ball machine makes you feel really comfortable and it makes it really easy. That's not what tennis is about. Tennis is about making you uncomfortable and not making it easy.
Machine is interesting for that. He has a good technique. But this being said, you can.
I'm going to stop it there straight away. What is good technique, Patrick? What does good technique mean? The whole thing of good, proper, correct technique. Would you say Tiafoe's got correct technique? Medvedev got correct technique? Really, this guy.
See that he has a very little margin over the net. Very little. So I would not advise that. He needs to hit at least 50 centimeters over the net minimum.
Hit the ball low over the net. Patrick's saying don't do that. I completely agree. If we go low over the net, it's a high-risk situation. We're more likely to make an error, especially if we're under pressure. What's really interesting here is the player is still going low over the net, but he's under no challenge from an opponent. He's under no challenge from the ball coming back to him. What's going to happen when he's pushed a little bit off balance? He's probably going to hit the net with his correct or good technique. One thing Patrick doesn't observe or doesn't put into context, and listen, I appreciate he's got 20, 30 seconds of an Instagram reel to get his message across. He can't go in great detail. But that's one of my issues with Mr. Mouratoglou. He never provides context. He just gives you very short snippets of information, which sound amazing. What he doesn't point out is two things. Number one, he does mention it. It's a dead ball. So when the ball's dropped in that way, it's not going to bounce. There's no speed or spin on the ball to make it react once it touches the court. Therefore, when it bounces, it's just going to bounce quite dead and sit up. Therefore, the player is going to be making contact quite low, which is then going to affect the trajectory over the net. Observation as a coach, the feed is not helping the ball trajectory, not the technique. And he's saying about this guy's got good technique, but he's not relating it back to the ball. Goes back to my whole thing before. You have to perceive the ball, then you have to put into the action. But your perception has a huge impact on the action you perform against. The other thing that Patrick fails to look at is the court itself. It looks like it's an artificial grass court or astro court. These are notoriously low bouncing courts. At the minute, this player's got a dead ball on a low bouncing court. No wonder he's hitting the ball out. And looking at the environmental constraints, looking at the environment the player's in, the ball, the court, the way the ball's landing, that will have an effect on the technique. But this guy said it was good technique. To be fair, he's doing well with the constraints he's under. Is the machine worth getting? It's a tough one because I think it's good if you've got no one to hit with. If you've got no one to hit with and you want to go out and strike some balls, listen, any type of exercise is good for you. Will it improve your tennis? No, unfortunately not. It's a different type of skill. It'll be great if someone comes on a tennis court and drops you a ball. You will be absolutely amazing at hitting that ball. The challenging part of tennis is the ball never comes in the same place twice. Different heights, different speeds, different spins. You've got an opponent who's trying to make your life difficult. This machine is doing the opposite. It makes your life easy. To me, it's like a diet pill. It's a placebo. It might make you feel like you've got good technique. It may make you feel more confident, but it's generally a fake way. Great for getting out and hitting a few balls rather than sitting on the couch and eating some chips. Not so great if you really want to develop your tennis development skill. Should you listen to Mouratoglou in this video? To be fair, again, he does have some good teaching points. You can generate some power with this machine, but you won't be able to transfer that power into a tennis situation. The ball you hit is really dependent on your previous shot and the ball that your opponent gives you back. What Patrick understands really well and is really clever is technique sells. Technique sells online. But the issue is everyone hits the ball differently. And within a lot of his coaching videos, he talks about these different techniques for these individual players. And listen, it may work for the individual player, therefore it's good coaching. The bit that he doesn't tell you, it won't work for you. Just be careful, not only with Mouratoglou, but any tennis coach online who teaches you perfect technique. Perfect technique doesn't exist. Perfect technique is what works for you. You will not be able to replicate anyone else's technique because you're an individual. And your technique will change in the moment as well. Like I mentioned before, the ball is going to change. You're going to have to change your movement pattern towards it. Should you buy this machine? Questionable. Should you listen to Mouratoglou? Sometimes. I think sometimes he has good points. I do like the way he talks to his players. That sometimes he uses some external focus cues and gives some stuff to think about feel. My issue with Mr. Mouratoglou is context. He never provides context. He never makes it clear that, listen, this works for this young player. It's probably not going to work for you. Why? Because he wants views. He wants likes. There you have it. If you have enjoyed this Steve Reacts, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments down below who I should react to next. It may be a video. It may be Mouratoglou again, but a different video. Let me know. This is a new series. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll speak to you soon.